Oh.
Energize. Energize. All systems operating. All systems operating. All systems operating.
So be it, fool. So be it, fool. Savage life forms never follow. Savage life forms never follow even. Savage life forms never follow even their own rules.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Trek in the Valley, the non-encyclopedic Star Trek The Next Generation podcast. I'm Adam Ordall Quinnell here with my co-host.
Hey everybody, it's Al Hirt. What is up?
Mr. Al Hirt, what is up indeed? We're going to talk about Star Trek, man, but how are you doing?
Good. Feeling great.
Coming out of the heat wave?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of starting up again.
Well, it's going to be like early low 80s the next couple days, and it's been the 90s.
Really?
I consider, yeah, it was in the 90s the last few days. Today, it's like the first day it's been less than 90 degrees at night.
Jeez.
That's why I was saying I want to go play disc golf. But it's also very windy. So what are you going to do? We got them goddamn Santa Tana winds we got to deal with.
Dude, they fucking bump AC in our building, and it's just... You're so used to it being so cold all the time.
I go in and out a lot because I have to get away from my desk on my breaks and shit. So like I walk out of the AC and into the... It reminds me of when I went to India for a previous job, and like the AC would just be fucking blasting like a fridge in the office.
Seriously.
And then you walk out and it's like you're walking out an airlock onto fucking Mercury and it's 1,000 degrees outside and the difference is wild. But I hadn't really experienced that in such a way anywhere other than Mumbai. I went like in fucking July. It was very hot.
Damn.
I was also there I was there in May and then in July for a couple weeks both times. And one time was during the rainy season, like the monsoons. So we only worked like 7 of the 10 working days that I was there because the office was closed for like floods and shit.
Damn.
Like they closed the office like halfway through the workday one day, and I got in the car for the driver to drive me back to the hotel from the office park. And the water was like up to the headlights on the car and just like people honking and driving through. Like it was fucking wild. And it was before good cell phone cameras. I just had like my Motorola Rocker or whatever. and
Just
yeah,
a couple pixels.
Yeah. So I've got some pictures from those 2 trips, but yeah, it was absolutely nuts. And then, yeah, so that was the only other time. Like when I got off the plane the first night in Mumbai, you step onto the jet bridge and it's like 98 or 100 degrees or whatever at midnight. Mm-hmm. And then you walk through the jet bridge at the Mumbai airport and there's a massive air conditioner every 20 feet. Jeez. So it's like cool in front of those huge air conditioners, and then it's 90 degrees, and then it's cool, and then it's 90 degrees. And yeah, but
your brain's just like, what's happening?
I hadn't, yeah. And you've been traveling, it's a 26 it's 26 to 30 hours of travel.
Yeah.
Because it's 9 to 10 hours to get from, Minneapolis to Amsterdam or wherever I left from in the US. And then you go from Amsterdam to Mumbai. And it was or Prague. I went to Prague the first couple times, and then Amsterdam. But yeah. So that I hadn't really experienced that again or something exactly like it until motherfucking Los Angeles in 2019, my first summer here. Yeah, so we're making it. We're still safe from all of the protesting. Fuck ICE.
Yeah, fuck ICE.
Fuck ICE. Get out of my fucking city. If you're listening to us and you like ICE, hey, keep listening, but don't fucking talk to me about it. All right.
Yeah, fuck 'em. Fuck ICE.
And from Fuck Ice, we're gonna segue. We're gonna segues into the first segment of the day.
Oh yeah.
What does Al remember? What do you remember about the Star Trek The Next Generation episode that we covered last week on episode 123 of our little podcast?
Ooh. It's Code of Honor, right? That's what
Yep.
it was called.
And who wrote it?
I was like,
I'm just
yeah.
kidding. What if the segment just was totally different now? And I'm like,
No.
okay. And the air date, you're
No way.
you're fired from the podcast if you don't get within a couple days.
Yeah, thanks.
Um,
No. It's I basically remember it's
Code of Honor.
kind of a first. What is it called? Not a first approach, first contact kind of deal.
Okay. Yes.
But then they have to follow the Prime Directive, and Picard and the first officer. God, what's his name?
Riker.
Rikers.
Yes. Yes.
Rikers.
Billy Rikes.
Billy Rikes. No, anyway, so Riker and Picard were always complaining about that. And then I guess Yar gets involved in some fight. I forgot what the other people are called, the species.
There's the Ligonians.
The Ligonians. Okay, thank you. And they're excited to meet them, Picard and the crew, because Picard's like, oh, well, they're pretty close to resembling humans.
Why are they meeting these people?
It's because of a classic cure dilemma.
A vaccine.
Yes.
For the Antilles fever.
Ah, yes. In some other distant planet, because they always send the Enterprise. They're like, hey, you're already out there. We need you to pick up this vaccine.
Yeah, hey, get out there. Scoot, you're already zipping around, zapping around
your
out there.
It's over.
Right? Go check it out. Get that vaccine. Oh
So
yeah,
while
don't tell
they
them
meet
how.
them-
Don't tell them how warp works because technically they're
the
a
way-
fucking they're a Prime Directive nightmare.
You could show them the holodeck, but don't show
Right?
them anything else.
So what happens when the Ligonians get on the ship?
Oh, the Mr. King Ligonian is like, I like Yar a lot.
Yeah.
And Picard's like, nah, that's kind of weird. And Yar's like, I'll show them around, but that's about it. And then
She shows them the holodeck.
Yeah, she shows them the holodeck, shows off her skills.
Right.
And then I guess there is some weird, kind of right of feudalism, I guess, that goes on in their planet where the women own all the land, but the men fight for it.
The men do.
Or they
all,
take care of it. They
yeah.
take care of it, and they do the combat.
They administer it. They
Yes.
control what happens with it.
Which is, I guess.
Right.
So then, for some reason, though, to me it was pretty obvious, but the King Ligonian takes Yar, transports him back to his planet. Picard's like, what the hell's going on? He goes down there, and then the King Ligonian's like, hey, I love Yar. I want her to be my first.
I want her to be my first.
And Yar's like, I'm a Starfleet officer. That's not possible. And Picard's like, what does he say? He's like, we outright decline this offer.
Yeah,
or
he
forbid
says, yeah, I outright decline.
It just doesn't make sense at all. It just isn't, even if she wanted to. And Deanna Troy's like, were you comfortable around him? And she's like, he was pretty hot.
Yeah,
but,
that's right.
Hey,
They're
don't get in my
basically
head.
saying, yeah, and just because you think somebody's attractive doesn't mean they can fucking abduct you.
Yeah, exactly. She was like, but I don't really agree to this, obviously.
Right.
And so then, what was the ticking time though? Was that just them getting the vaccine? And
Every
not trying
time
to conflict
Yeah.
with their, I guess not religion, but their traditions
they could
or
just
culture.
they could just fucking take the shit. You know?
Of course, yeah. Picard's
But-
like, we could have just stunned everybody by now.
But so the ticking clock, as it were, is every couple scenes, Beverly Crusher comes in and goes, the people who have the Antilles fever are closer to melting or dying or whatever than ever.
Picard's like, I'll get to it when I get to
it. He's like, we're
Yeah.
trying. Don't you realize that Yar's been kidnapped?
And Beverly's like, have you ever seen anybody melt? And he's like, I don't really care. We need to get this Yar situation figured out.
She's like, you've just never seen anybody die of Anchilito fever. Of the Enchilito fever.
Anyways, on the planet though, Yar's like, I don't even want to be your first. And then this other lady's like, I protest you. I challenge you.
Yeah,
you know how like when you're in the arcade and you're playing the fighters.
Yeah, like
and then
somebody's like
somebody walks
gets
up
on
and
Killer
presses
Instinct.
too.
Yeah, they put in their
It's like
quarter.
a new challenger.
Because then if you lose, they get to play.
Exactly.
And you lose all your progress.
Yep, and then you got to get more quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, so yeah, they challenge each other, and then we see some like weird little playground arena, and I don't know why this was just etched in my mind. I was like, Adam, I'm sure this is in plenty of other sci-fi media shows, this weird little playground arena.
Sure.
And then they kind of have to like swing these little morning stars on their hands, but then on the ends it's like poison. So then they do this, have their cake and eat it kind of deal where Picard's like, okay, since somebody has to die from this ceremony, just win, Yar, and then we'll just zip on you back to the Enterprise, and Miss Crusher will
Urena.
heal her.
Yes, so that's it's the old the old Kirk is killed by Spock gambit. Remember that? Remember when Kirk died, and then Bones brought him back to life.
What was that called? The
Ponfar. Yeah, when he's all terminally horny.
Do you know what it's also giving though in the original series? It's when Kirk was like, "Fuck it, just give them both advanced weapons, and we'll just see what happens."
Right? Oh, remember when that spectator got killed? I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
When the glove flew off Urena.
He was like, ugh.
Yeah. All right. So good job. You did a pretty good job remembering stuff.
And then, the guy's like,
how's it end?
Here's the vaccine. And then the lady's like, you know what? Oh, since I won the tournament and I technically died, we're divorced. So technically my land's my land.
Right.
And I like this. I like your second in command. The second in command's like, oh, I was a really nice guy anyways.
Yeah, she was like,
saying all the nice things in the
You were
episode.
the only one who cried out when I was about to get gut stabbed.
That's right.
All right.
And so,
so then the king of the Ligonians, who is a big piece of shit, he got his, and now he's number 2. Get it?
And one of the best lines, Yar's like, "You've lost everything, and what for?"
Right.
So silly. Anywho,
fucking love it.
They zoom on, zip out of there.
Good stuff. Good job, Al.
Yes.
That's what Al remembers.
Dude, these episodes are getting
they're
getting
cooking.
Steady, yeah.
They are cooking, as the kids say. How the fuck do I go to my notes that are other notes?
Oh, so this next one though, it is the Last Outpost.
Yeah. So this week we're talking about The Last Outpost. And this episode aired. Well, first off, this is episode 124 of Trek in the Valley.
Ooh, nice,
almost to $1.25.
Yeah.
And it's titled The Last Outpost. It was written by Herbert Wright and Richard Kurtzman. And it was directed by Richard A. Colo. And he died in 2021. R.I.P.
Colo.
This episode aired on October 10th. October 19th, 1987.
Wow.
I was 5 years old. I probably watched it on WGN. And the synopsis from Paramount Plus is as follows. Held captive over an unknown planet, the away teams of the USS Enterprise and Ferengi starships must pass an important inquisition by mysterious life form known as Portal before they are allowed to continue their journeys through space. So sounds familiar. Sounds familiar, right?
Their journeys through space.
So doesn't that sound really? So I'm just gonna let the episode play in the background here, and I'm just gonna say it starts. They're chasing a Ferengi ship, and apparently we've never seen a Ferengi in this context. I thought they were in the original series at some point, but they weren't. You were totally right.
Yeah.
Totally fucking
do you know
right.
what this reminds you of?
Tell me what it reminds me of. Please read my fucking mind.
What's it called? It's no. It's because you tied it with. It's not exactly Ferengi, but they are always chasing ships, and they always get caught up in some bullshit.
Oh, dude, yes. So yeah, that's what
sure.
I was.
But that happened in the animated series at least 2 or 3 times.
So. It opens with a Ferengi ship has requisitioned a power converter from Starfleet outpost.
Atashi power converter.
They're chasing the it's a Sanroy. They're chasing the Ferengi ship, and we've never seen a Ferengi. They just kind of know what they know about them from studies, I guess. Which Data seems to. They all seem to have a lot of discounting rumor. We know almost nothing about them. I was
going to bring that up later, which is funny.
I was going to say that's just like every ship every episode starts with they're chasing somebody or they're responding to a distress call.
Yeah.
And this is no different. Now, we know that Ferengis end up being a much beloved part of the Star Trek
Seriously.
universe, but they really are painted out to be ravening fucking assholes in this.
Terrible people.
And I fucking love it. I love it. And this has so many motherfucking tropes, right?
Yeah,
so
there's
it's got
a lot
the
of
trope.
tropes.
It's got the trope of it starts medias res, they're pursuing a ship, right?
Yeah.
But then they're going to get held by an all-powerful It's so much like the Q thing, it's so like a powerful being holds them in one place, or who mourns for Adonis,
or Squire of Gothos.
Squire Gothos, whichever one had the big green hand.
Oh, that was mourns for Adonis.
Who mourns for Adonis. The Ferengi ship shoots at
or
him.
like Satan just being like, come party with me.
Hey,
I'm gonna stop your ship. Welcome to the center of the universe.
I'm Lucifer in your Saturday morning cartoon about space exploration.
Fuck these people, right? Let's go rage.
And this is an ad for Lucky Charms.
That's why we were I think that's why we're meshing all these episodes. And also, the other time when they're chasing that ship and it's going really fast, and they try to do open frequency with it, and they try to hail it, and that lady's speaking gibberish. She goes into that weird tunnel.
Yeah, they go
wormhole.
backwards.
They go backwards. Yeah. So anyways, there's some weird phenomenon happening with both the Enterprise and the Ferengi ship, and they're both slowing down. And the Ferengi ship attacks, or kind of sends trying to kill them with missiles.
It's not. They take a phaser blast or whatever, photon torpedoes or something, right?
But I mean, we know what's I already know what's happening because we've seen the episode already. I think I have my theory,
so the Ferengi shoot at the Enterprise, the flagship of the Federation.
Yes.
And
Nothing
Deanna Troi is
right?
Deanna Troi is like, hey, don't open fire on them. They probably just shot at us because we were chasing them, right? And so it's really a chicken and the egg thing. Like the Ferengi are going to be like, we shot at you because you were chasing us, and they're like, we're chasing you because you fucking stole something, and they're like, don't call us a thief.
Yeah.
And it takes them a long time to actually see the Ferengi, I think. And then
they start drifting towards the Ferengi ship, and Picard's like, hey, what are you doing? Stand still. And Geordi's taking the helm, and he's like,
Geordi is
he's a pilot, and he ends up doing engineering too, though.
Yeah, he's not the chief engineer yet, though.
No. Oh, that's what his gig ends up being.
Yeah, he has the gold shirt later.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Chief engineer Geordi. They promote him. It's a big deal. We'll talk about it in 5 years.
Also, though, what's funny is that I was going to bring this up. You'll see bits and pieces of it too. This is like when kind of the traditional story or the traditional format kind of hits with the modern stuff of like the 90s with the humor with Data and stuff.
Yes.
A lot of that comes out. And then like the wit of the Ferengi, you don't really consider that in the original series. I guess there is some smart characters, but I don't feel like there wasn't people as devious that can just like try to outwit or outmaneuver Picard.
But they
like,
don't
remember
really...
that, or not Picard, Kirk. Remember that one episode where like the guy thought he was going to get away with everything, but then he couldn't get the simple chess passcode to get access to the Enterprise.
Absolutely,
it's like stuff like that, like the Ferengi might have figured that out.
Well, these Ferengi, they don't seem like they're going to be able to trick anybody.
Oh,
they're
for sure.
very much just disgusting monsters that are just they're caricatures, they're cartoons. Knowing what we get in regards to Ferengi stuff in the future. There's an episode of Lower Decks where some of the lower deckers go on just like a fact-finding travel guide writing mission to Ferenginar. And Boimler basically just falls down a TV hole and watches Ferengi television for 24 hours. And it's so fucking funny, dude. The show that he watches is about landlord cops. Because Ferengi love landlords and shit. Like, it's really fucking good. They're like, sign the lease or I'll kill you.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Selling
good stuff.
land for money.
So what we know about Ferengis in the future, this seems like a bit of a brutal caricature of them.
Oh, at first, yeah, for sure. They seem like, brutal demons.
Yeah, they're just trade or profit hungry beasts. So they're being held by a mysterious force, and they think it's the Ferengi though. That's for way too long. Like they should know the Ferengi, because Data even says it's assumed, or it's kind of.
Deanna Troi says it too.
Data says what we know about them says that they're how Data describes the Ferengi is he says their best description would be traitors, like Yankee traitors in the Earth history, and the Ferengi lived by the worst. And his analogy is like the worst qualities of capitalism, and he says that they are
the phrases are "let the buyer beware."
They live by the worst part of capitalism. Let the buyer beware. And he says that their technology is believed to be about on par with the Federation's, but they have completely different, capitalist motivations, basically.
Yeah, and Riker's like, Yankees isn't like American with all that shit.
My people.
Yeah, and Data's like, I don't think they're wearing red, white, and blue or dressed like Uncle Sam, though, sir.
Right, and then Data knows who Uncle Sam, and then eventually Worf goes, Uncle Sam, Uncle who?
Yeah,
I love all of the Worf jokes where he doesn't know what's going on because he doesn't understand human
and then
stuff.
Picard's like, well, Americans use red, white, and blue all fucking messy like, but the French, they used it all delicately,
right?
With style and grace.
Yeah, Picard
and
is
then Data
definitely
starts going off on the flags, and Picard's like, "Shut up, Data."
Red, white, and blue for the United States, whereas the French more properly use the same colors in the order of blue, white, and red. And then Data lists all the flags, and Picard is like, "Shut up, Data! You're just fucking rambling."
And he's like, but you brought up, and he's like, I said, shut up, Data.
I love how Data's, Data's also operating under the assumption that the Ferengi are doing this, right? Because he says, if this is the case, that they're neutralizing our shit, they must have technology that's superior to ours.
Yeah.
And Geordi explains that it's like the Ferengi ship and the Enterprise are, when they try and pull away from each other, they get pulled closer together. And I thought, it's just like a Chinese finger trap, which becomes a hilarious joke in the future. And this is where Geordi and fucking Riker cook up this plan, because Geordi's like, there's a 0.35 millisecond delay in when the force field grabs us, and or when the force grabs us, and Riker's like, well, how long would it take you to kick it down to fucking warp 9? And he's like, about 0.3. Oh, I see what you're doing. It's like, one number smaller than the other. You have time to do it. We get it. And of course, it doesn't fucking work. And I knew it wasn't gonna fucking work.
Yeah, it was really silly, and like, especially because, as you said before, when they explain the plan, that's not gonna work. But also the fact that Geordi's like, I'll let you know when it works when I'm done doing it.
Right?
It's like, no, that's not gonna happen. That's where I feel like this is kind of the traditional like writing, where people were saying the first season is just like a cluster of these drafts, or like not drafts but ideas that like people kind of reused and left over, whereas the second season kind of feels like it's more in stride.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
I've heard the first 2 seasons are bad, and I've watched them all multiple times.
I just remember people saying start with the second, but still, the first one's crazy.
I have recommended to people that they watch a top 10 episodes from the first and second seasons list, and then start with season 3. But now that I'm watching them all, I feel like these are all very valuable. I like it. And so Picard gives the Ferengi one last chance. He says, "Fucking talk to us. We're the flagship of the fucking Federation," and they don't respond. And then this is where they kick it down, and like I said, it doesn't work. And
the ship that turns off at 1.2.
Right? Oh yeah, they lose all power except for life support and shit. And this is where they still 15 minutes into the episode almost, they think that it's the motherfucking Ferengi that have this technology that's holding them in place. And of course, Worf and Yar want to fight.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, it's an active war. And then Troy goes, but they fired on us. And then Deanna Troy says, Yar says they fired on us. And Troy says we were chasing them. And there you go.
Yeah, but also, is this like one of our first senior officer meetings too?
Yeah, it might be
Senior
one of the
staff?
first staff meetings.
Yeah. But,
in my ready room now.
Yeah, exactly. But
Energize.
what else? The other thing that Deanna Troy brings up too that happens to the ship right as it turns on, it's getting scanned. The ship. It's getting
That's
censored.
right.
And
Something's
they're
reading all the
shit,
history.
something's reading. So they're assuming that it's a Ferengi again, and they're all like giving each other's opinions in the ready room. And Deanna Troy's like, well, maybe we should still try to communicate with them. Picard's like, all right, whatever. That sounds the best because that way we're not killing each other or shooting at each other. And he goes, I mean, we've already tried that though. And then she does the whole twist of like, but what if we're not saying what they want to hear?
What if we haven't offered them something worth talking to us about?
Yeah, right. And he's just like, oh.
Before that, though, I have to mention
That was a good line, though.
Yes. And before that, though, I have to mention that Riker and Picard quote Sun Tzu's Art of War to each other, which will be important later. And so, yeah, they have their senior staff meeting, of course. Yar and Worf are blood-hungry monsters.
Yeah, seriously. They're like, let's just shoot them.
And they're going to try one more time.
We just have enough power for some photon missiles, Captain.
Right? And so they try one more time to chat. And this is where things turn because Picard reaches out to the Ferengi and says, okay, we are willing to discuss surrender. And the first time I saw this, I went, the first time I saw this, I went, I'm 5 and a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But now that I'm watching it now, it's like, of course, the Ferengi are So they finally
really lucked out.
They go back and forth about it, right? About the Ferengi, about what's going to happen, and they're waiting for the Ferengi to respond, and then they do, and the Ferengi refuses to show themselves visually. They're like, we don't like to show ourselves; it is dishonorable. And they're like, but you got it. We have to see you because it's honorable to us, right?
Yeah.
And so they, we still haven't seen him yet. So they're just talking over the fucking, oh, there it is. Okay. So he does, this is that scene. So basically, they're saying, we're going to talk to you about surrender. They wait a minute. The Ferengi get back to them and say, we will not do an unconditional surrender. And also, when you see them on the screen, it's just a huge Ferengi head that we know and love. That design hasn't changed too much in the last 25, 30 years. And obviously one of the reasons that the Ferengi don't like to use a visual communication medium is so that they can trick or lie to whoever they're fucking talking to. Everybody is kind of, and the Ferengi is just absolutely disgusted by humans. That's what I find funny. They do it with the Klingons too. I love it. I love it when an alien race is disgusted by what humans look like.
It's just to show that like we're just as alien to them as they are to us, and you know, this whole deception with the Ferengi just feels so, I don't know, it feels awkward, and it's kind of reminiscent of I forgot which episode it was, but it's when Spock was trying to get Kirk off a planet because they were overpopulated or something, and like they wanted Kirk to like murder this daughter.
Oh, yeah, I kind of remember that.
And, like, the leader of this planet was like, we'll get to it when we get to it, sir. And they just kept, you know, dilly-dallying and going back and forth. It's just, it has that awkward, like, abrasion like that, you know, with this Ferengi interaction.
There's good tension between the Ferengi and Picard because they're trying to, like, feel out who knows what.
But it's funny, as soon as they realize that the Ferengi, like, think that the Enterprise is in charge of, you know, holding them, yeah. Because Picard's like, mute my mic.
I love that.
It's hilarious.
And so the Ferengi are offering to surrender and give up the lives of their first officer, or of their second officers. and that's when as is required by Ferengi code, and Data is like, Starfleet has no rules involving second officers because that's them.
Yeah,
they're the second officers.
Fortunately, we're good.
Right? And then Picard is like, your offer may be inadequate. I have to discuss it with my staff. They go into the ready room. They have to chase some Rugrats. Kids were a big part of the early episodes. They had that was like the difference between this and the original series, I think, is like all the kids on the ship. Like they literally, those kids serve no other purpose in the story other than for
get
to
out of them.
Shoo, yeah.
Yeah,
Like they're just like rats, just like rats on the ship. And so they sent a probe to probe the Ferengi ship, and they sent a probe to the planet, right?
Yeah.
And there's no indication of life forms, but they did find some information in the databanks about a massive alien culture that spanned the galaxy and had trillions of fucking people. And they were the Takan. And Picard is like, I've never heard of the Takan before. And Data's like, that's understandable. They've been extinct for 600,000 of our years. And Data's got a Chinese finger trap that his fingers are fucking stuck in. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and then this is like when the traditional slaps with the whole modern cringe.
Oh, I love it. I
humor.
think it's very funny still. And
for sure.
And Picard is like, Data, please. And then Geordi laughs at him for a second and then helps him. And then get them unstuck and continue the briefing. Riker helps him, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess...
Picard does.
Picard does, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm
He
so
puts his
sorry,
fingers
audience.
Together.
Picard helps Data escape the clutches of the Chinese finger trap.
I guess traditional in the sense of, like, Data's just trying to read off this mission report as, like, straight as possible. And then it's just clashing with this, like, awkward timing of his fingers being stuck in this Chinese trap.
I love it.
Yeah, it's getting funnier, you know.
So he determines that these planets were part of this outpost for the Takan Empire, and the Takan Empire was killed by a supernova 600,000 years ago, and this outpost probably survived because it was the furthest from the sun that exploded, right? And so that is about all they know. And now they're getting a signal from the probe, and it's like, this shot fucking rules, dude. So at 21 minutes, they pull up the signal that the probe is sending, and it is a remastered. Obviously, we watched the HD remasters of these on Paramount Plus, and there's a fucking super rad shot of the planet. And then of the Enterprise and the Ferengi ship, and they got like lightning going from the planet to the ships.
Yeah, and it's like this perfect
look at
sphere.
that! Look at that! I'll zoom in on it. Oh, it's so rad! I want a holographic projector jigger like that, man. And then so the sun went supernova, killed everybody. There you go. And now this is where Picard has a brilliant idea.
Yeah,
he says we got to go down there and check shit out. We should bring the Ferengi with us, team up, learn what we can about them while also solving this space mystery. And they open the hailing frequency, right? And the Ferengi are like, we know you fucking lied to us, by the way.
Yeah.
He's like, we get that you're not holding you on. We caught your probe going to the planet. And then this is where they get into the back and forth of Picard is desperately trying to say the reason we were chasing you is because you stole this power converter without saying you stole it. Like he's like, you accidentally took it, or like the first time he said when you found our power converter on the planet, and the Ferengi are like, that planet was in Ferengi space, and he's like, I think you know that it's not.
And he's like, look, it's in both of our interests to not be stuck here.
Yes, good keeping the podcast
so
going now.
Not we need to like both work together and get the fuck on this planet and figure out why it's draining our energy, right?
And the Ferengi goes, on that matter there can be no argument. And he's a daemon of the Ferengi.
Yes, the daemon.
Which I don't know, that maybe that's he's like a Picard, or he's like a Picard level captain, and they say human. I love that. Yeah, and they still pronounce it like that all these years later. I love it. And Picard is doing this, and I just love this conversation with the daemon because it's Picard, and the Ferengi's face is just fucking huge massive, on the view screen. And I don't recall it. It's not really always like that. Like, they're doing it intentionally to show the Ferengi's big, weird face and his snarling sneer and teeth and shit.
It's supposed to make him intimidating, you know?
Yeah, right? And Picard is basically suggesting, hey, let's swap information and beam down there and see what's going on. And of course they do, but they all beam to crazy places.
Yeah, I think who sent who the coordinates? Did they just pick a spot and they're like, "Hey, I'll send you the coordinates," and the Ferengi was like, "Okay, bet."
No, I think that they just tried to beam down, but the fact that the energy coming off the planet makes them beam into weird places.
Yeah.
And so right now there's no way to beam them back when the away team beams down.
And it was 5 of them.
Yep. And oh my God, the sets and the lightning on this planet. I fucking love this shit. They're walking in fog. There's the matte paintings, the paintings with the fog and the clouds moving. When Riker looks out across this fucking barren landscape of like gray waterfalls and mountains, it is like, that's like 1970s horror shit, you know? That's like fucking the guy Lucio Fulci who made The Beyond. Like that's the kind of shots he would use to show like the scale of hell or whatever. Fucking love that shit. And all of these glowing rocks around, and Data's looking at a glowing rock. Due to the force field around the ship, we beamed into wacky places. They're looking for Geordi. We find out that the rocks are like a big battery or something, some shit. Geordi's foot is in a tree, and the tree is sticking out of a rock. And that's when we get the Ferengis and their laser whips.
Yes.
And the laser whips look like a pool noodle. It looks like a pool noodle. Like, you know, like the pool noodle that you float on, but like whippier. And this is kind of why I thought this was from the original series, because of how cheesy the fucking shit looks.
Right.
But it looks also pretty rad. And their blue laser whips shoot lightning and such.
I was going to say, though, with the gray, with the planet and the, you know, when Riker was looking out on the distance, it was more akin to like purgatory, just like something being dull and boring, or just like barren.
Did you see Hellraiser 2? All the shots of the labyrinth. Yeah, dude. Or in fucking Prometheus.
Note, you know.
Yeah, or in Prometheus, even though I hate it, there's some good shots of like the ravaged landscape. So the ticking clock of this episode is the Enterprise has no power and is running out of oxygen.
It's just fucking Beverly Crusher dealing with the realities of the Enterprise.
Of all these people are gonna die, right?
Meanwhile, the crew has like fun doing sci-fi stuff.
And they're like we get to about 10 minutes from now, she's like, I thought about giving Wesley a sedative, and Picard is like, he deserves to greet death awake, just like all of us. It's like they're all just getting ready to fucking die, dude. Yeah.
And this is so intense.
So the Ferengi steal Geordi's comm badge after knocking them all out with their laser whips. And they talk about that gold comm badge a lot.
Yeah,
the fact that it's gold is a huge deal.
Why do they place this on their chests?
And this is where we get the conversation between the 3 Ferengi, right?
Yes.
And this has big one-act play energy. You know, it really feels like they're doing a little play on stage where they're these characters.
Old school.
I love it, dude. And so basically they're saying, hey, we're going to accuse the humans of attacking us, and then we'll destroy their ship, and there you go. They prepared to ambush, and it'll be their word against ours. And we have to mention that I think that the Ferengi leader, that wasn't the guy that was the captain. To me, the Ferengi leader is on the planet. It's this guy Litek, who's actually played by Armin Shimmerman, who will go on to play Quark, the most famous of all the Ferengi. Oh yeah, Damon Tarr is the guy that was on the ship. So none of these 3, they had
4.
They have 4, and they only sent 3 of them down to the planet. I fucking love it, dude. And so the Ferengi are real schemers. They want to steal all this stuff. They want to destroy the Enterprise.
It's a big deal, though. This feels like the big comedic alien species that they're trying to, you know, help expand the universe in Star Trek.
Right? And then
it's not quite, what is it, Jar Jar Binks, but it's not like as serious as like the Borg.
Right? Yes. Yeah, they're not as serious as the Klingons, I don't think.
Yeah, the Klingons. That's true.
You can't be too intimidated by these guys and their foam whips.
The foam whips, yeah. The foam whips is what gets us.
So Riker wakes up And after Riker wakes up, the lightning starts striking, and the lightning bothers the Ferengi. It's like it hurts their ears.
Yeah,
that's
they
kind of
have
what it
super
makes
hearing.
it look like, right? And then Data wakes up, and then Worf wakes up, and his hair is all tousled. I love that shit.
Yeah, but Worf is like staying down, trying to creep up.
Yeah, Worf is and then he knocks him down. Worf does a double leg sweep, and it is all a ruse. Data was pretending to be deactivated.
Yeah.
And this fight rules.
It's hilarious.
It's like a fight from the movie Gremlins. They're just like Worf and Riker both just have, and Geordi,
struggling.
they just have a Ferengi on top of them biting them, and Data is holding a Ferengi up over his head like when he picked Wesley up out of the water. And he's like, "Careful, Commander. They're much stronger than they appear." And then Riker gets clocked. Oh my God, the look on Data's face when Riker gets clocked by a Ferengi.
He's like, that sucks.
Geordi is just waking up. And then I think Geordi is the one that gets a phaser.
And then we see, what's his name? Gosh. The
Right?
Klingon.
Oh, no, Geordi doesn't get a phaser.
No, Geordi doesn't get a phaser. Yar saves the day.
Tasha Yar comes
Tasha
in,
Yar.
and she's like, "You've heard of phasers, right? You little garbage monkeys.
Back
you little
the fuck up.
get back there." And then
Worf does a fucking WWE back slam with
Yes!
one of the Ferengi
he
on his
falls
back.
on. Yeah, he falls onto
Falls on his back.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
it was awesome. That fight ruled. It was like real classic Star Trek fight in all the good ways.
Ferengi pretty strong.
Now, here's the thing. We just last week had a culture that didn't understand women. Like, we just last week had a culture that was like, you treat your women equally? And then the Ferengi are just blown away by Yar. They're like, it's true. You force your women to wear clothes and work with you. It's sickening. Their reactions to it, the looks on their faces, these guys fucking nailed it, dude. The dudes who played the Ferengi, Armin Shimmerman, Jake Dengal, and Tracy Walter are the three Ferengi on the planet.
Yes.
And this is where Beverly Crusher and Picard have their discussion about, like, Wesley has the fucking right to die awake.
Crusher was just like, I'm tempted to give him a sedative.
It just really feels like they got to, we're all gonna die a lot sooner.
Yeah,
like
meanwhile,
you think they
on the
would
planet.
like you think they would put people to sleep, right?
Or they would,
to
there's no way
limit
to
the
communicate,
oxygen.
huh?
They
That
can't talk
too,
to them on the planet. Yeah, they don't even know what's going
No,
on.
but what if people snored at him?
Oh, well, no, that would take up
They'd
more
take up more
oxygen,
time.
but less than being awake.
That's true.
There's an episode of Lower Decks where they have to do something like that to conserve oxygen, so they all phaser each other.
That's hilarious.
And then Yar tries to shoot the Ferengi, but the phaser blast goes awry and goes into the crystals.
But this is when the Ferengi try to use the whips, and then their electricity is going straight into the crystals as well.
But that wasn't the case before. What the hell?
And they're like, what is this?
They were working before.
Yeah, and so they finally put two and two together. The Enterprise crew, they're like, wow, this energy is being drained from these crystals.
And the crystals is draining the energy from our weapons, just like it's draining the ship, right?
Yeah, and Geordi's like, I finally understand what the hell I'm seeing with my visors. It's not a migraine.
I've been seeing all these crazy fucking things, man, and I just get it now. It's like jazz, dude. The entire planet has been turned into a power accumulator, man.
They're like, shut up, nerd.
No, they like it, but yeah, it is nerdy. And so basically, they're saying these batteries are the planet's power is emanating from, and then a big face appears.
Do you know what this reminded me of too in Ghostbusters when Zool comes out?
Yeah. It's very much like when Zool comes out.
One place.
Yeah, they used a lot of the same special effects style. Look, with the swirlies and such. And so
the portal's like, are you barbarians? And all this lightning.
You barbarians! I am Portal. First off, Portal is a fucking awesome name.
Yeah, right.
He's not really even a portal.
It gets really embarrassing in a couple of minutes too, which is great.
Oh
but
my God.
You'll know what happens.
So basically, this portal is like, hey, which one of you is going to petition to enter the Empire? And there you go. Who asks the question? And this is where Portal explains Portal says, I'll show you. And so Portal then becomes a man, right? Like a wizard looking guy, kind of. And I fucking love it. You hear one of the Ferengis go, biped, excellent. Like a biped, we can trick. If there's one thing I know about an alien race with two legs is we can trick them somehow. And so this is where Riker explains that
he's like, hey, your empire doesn't even exist anymore. This planet got
600,000 years, dog.
This planet got supernova'd.
Well, this planet didn't. This is the only one that did.
Yeah, the other planets got supernovas.
Fucking poof, dog. Mm-hmm. And then that's where the
guy's like, you're lying. And
this is
like,
the age of Mach-2.
Yeah.
And then Data's like, no, this is the age of Batsu. No. He said the Portal says this is the age of Batsu, and then Data says, I'm afraid not. And then he lists all of the time variant, the centuries, and oh man, it's really fucking good.
It feels like there's an episode of Gilligan's Island. I've heard of this, I haven't seen it, but they find some Japanese dude in a submarine. And he still thinks World War II is going on, and it's been like a couple of years, and they have to like break into the submarine and like break the news to him that like,
I don't know.
Hey, it's over.
I don't know that about a submarine, but I know that was a thing that really happened. There were like soldiers up in the mountains and shit that didn't know the war was over. I guess it was in
Gilligan's Island. It's like one of those episodes. But it feels like a silly gag of like, hey man, your empire's like kind of moved on. You're one of the last portals here.
Yeah, you're the last outpost.
I like that Rick and Morty gag of the robot with I just serve butter. It's like that's your purpose. That's all you do.
Mm-hmm. So the Ferengi instantly say, hey, we want to serve the Takan Empire. We are going to.
The human just made all that shit up.
Yeah, we are going to. He says we are going to work for you, and we'll even destroy the human ship.
Yeah, that's
in the process.
That's not even a robot,
right? And then fucking Riker's like, hey, these are bad accusations, but.
If you think they're real, you should act upon them.
Right?
Just like calling their bet, or calling their bluff.
Oh my god, dude. And some of the Ferengi performances are so fucking good, dude. And so
they kind of every accusation is a confession kind of deal,
Exactly. The Ferengi are saying the shit that they do as well. Like they're like the Federation withholds technology from developing races. They're like using the Prime Directive against them. That's pretty funny, man. That's good. The Ferengi are smart.
They're like, they take nothing of value. Instead, they place things of value on their chest as these weird fucking garments.
Right? And then Riker's like, yes, we've withheld technology because some cultures just aren't ready for it.
Yeah, and the Ferengi's like, don't you see they are insane?
Right? And then there is a great... there it is. Boom! I was waiting for this. So at 38 minutes and 38 seconds, 38,
yes.
One of these Ferengis that's not Armin Shimmerman is like saying clothe their females and like trying to touch you, because that's another one of the things they're accusing them of, is like they even clothe their fucking females, Portal. And this one Ferengi reaches out to touch Yar, and she swats him away, and he fucking does this motion with his hands that is like the funniest cartoonish villainous. Look at that. He like holds his hands above his head like a monkey, and then he puts them in front of the face like, it's just the fucking best. He's Mordok. Fucking love it, dude.
He's like, Ferengi or human, no one can order Mordok around. And they're like, fucking try me, dude.
The best part about this is you can tell that Portal is not falling for it, right? Portal says, your question, Riker, is when do you choose to fight, and what's the difference between the person who chooses to fight and chooses not to fight? What is the answer? And Riker's like, how do you know my name? And then the guy spins around this cane, and they speed up the footage so he's going faster. It's an axe. They speed up this footage, and he stops the axe right by Riker's head and he goes, you are facing fate with composure. But what is the answer to my challenge?
It's like a riddle.
Well, Riker knows it's fear is the true enemy, the only enemy. It's from Sun Tzu, which him and Picard were talking about earlier.
Yes.
So that means that this guy scanned, that he was scanning their ship and he knew everything that they knew, and he was like using that as part of the test.
Yeah, and the Riker too.
And he's like, he basically says, I like you humans. I want to learn more about this ancient Chinese philosopher. And then Riker's like, hey, can you release our ship?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, there you go. Your power's restored. And then he goes, what do you want me to do with these little guys?
Yeah.
And he basically says, you're clearly more developed emotionally than these little fucking goofballs. Look at these guys. And the Ferengi in the background is going, yeah. The whole time. I fucking love it, dude. They're just like so well animated.
It's bizarre.
And so the portal is all chill with humans, and Riker says the only way the Ferengi will ever learn is if you
show them mercy,
and teach them what's what. And then everybody on the Enterprise starts slowly waking up, and they were moments from death. It'd be funny if they got a report that was like only a quarter of the crew died.
Oh. Some people slept really early.
We only lost a quarter of the crew.
Yikes.
And there we go. And he even offers to destroy the Ferengi. I love that shit.
Oh yeah, of course. But he's like, yeah, I mean, how are they going to learn? How are they going to spread this knowledge of humans being kind if we murder them?
I want to write a show about this Portal guy, because when they're like, Riker's like, so what are you going to do now, Portal? And he's like, I guess I'm gonna sleep until something else fucking. He says, I was put on in this galaxy to create. So they also imply that he's like a god of the Takan, like a creation god. And he says, and so I'm gonna go to sleep until I'm needed again. Also, at one point in this episode, Picard said "merde," which means shit in French.
Oh, it's when they do they try to fly out of away from the ship.
Yes,
with the reverse trick.
And so then
we'll go in reverse.
So then this motherfucker goes back to sleep. Everybody's back on the ship and have beamed aboard. Riker says, hey, we should send a box of these finger traps over to the Ferengi ship to really fuck them up.
They'll be super excited.
And Picard says, make it so. And hey, they're off. Good job.
Yes.
What a fucking episode, dude. I really like this one a lot.
We're turning
Those
up.
Ferengi fucking hand motions, dude. That guy who played Mordok, Jake Dangle, that is like one of the best physical performances we've seen in Star Trek so far.
The Portal guy was pretty good.
He held his hands over his head like, and then he put them in front of him. Just so fucking good. And they use all those hand motions for Ferengi in Lower Decks as well. Really good stuff. So we're not going to do our ratings yet.
Oh, okay.
What did you think?
Oh, all right. What I thought of it was definitely a highlight. It's getting better. I think this is just as good as the pilot, with Q and all that.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And we finally have an enemy that I think not smart, but I mean, I guess cunning, or they try to be cunning in some sense where it's some challenge. But this feels very old school too, and Gene Roddenberry-esque with like a whole, what is my riddle? And they kind of, solve the riddle by doing this Sun Tzu thing. And then the unknown, just having the unknown and watching it for the first time fresh just kind of felt good of like, hey, they don't really know what it is. But watching it again, it's like, yeah, the Enterprise or the crew must have known like, hey, the source has to be that planet, if they didn't figure the Ferengi were doing it.
They thought the Ferengi were doing it for too long,
yeah, that's what
dude.
I was saying. Like, they're really hung up on that.
Yeah.
So, but I do know my rating. I did really like this, though.
Good. I fucking dig it, dude. I'm glad you were into it. I liked that. It really had the classic Star Trek of the omniscient being that's kind of testing them, but it does it in a condensed way.
And sorry.
Go for it.
It wasn't even like super omniscient. It was just like some guy that was in the planet that was like blocking a fence or something,
sleeping until somebody showed up.
A sleeper fence.
Kind of like a spider web.
Like a quicksand thing. And I do like the whole Picard negotiation of like, hey, it's going to benefit both of us to
find out what's going on the planet.
To leave.
I liked how Data told the old portal ghost what's what. He was like, I'm sorry, but you don't know your calendars.
It's one of the best parts.
And because the portal ghost is kind of a Data. He's like an ancient machine or whatever that's part of this planet. Yeah, like Landru, sort of. I thought that I was very surprised that they didn't know anything about the Ferengi. I thought we got a primitive Ferengi in the original series. Picard is careful to say they removed the power converter instead of stolen.
Yeah.
Picard says shit. I love all the remastered effects with the Ferengi ship and the planet being fucking holographically projected above the desk. Worf's fight with the Ferengi is fucking classic. I did like how Crusher challenges Picard because Picard says he should be able to die with dignity awake. And she goes, is that a male perspective? And Picard is like, rubbish. Bah. Yeah. I do not think of things from a male perspective. I'm beyond that shit. I'm a feminist.
It feels really refreshing for somebody to call Picard out because it's like Kirk kind of says brash shit and nobody really calls him out. Or they
except
agree.
Spock
does, yeah.
And Bones sometimes.
But I just don't think it's like more of the sexist stuff and more of the generational stuff and like there's only one God and all that shit.
Right. I like how the Ferengi represent a base part of humans past.
Yeah.
Like, there, but for the grace of the Bell riots, go I. That's how they were kind of looking at it, is like, we could have been them. We were a lot like them. I like that the portal talks about how the Ferengi mind are closed, right? Because remember when they first find the Ferengi ship, Deanna Troi says she's not getting anything from it, right? And I thought that part of that was like the Ferengi would need to evolve to hide their thoughts so that they can trick people and negotiate, right? But then the portal talks about how the Ferengi minds are closed because as well. So just like Troi and Portal, they both notice that the Ferengis have their fucking brainwaves on lockdown so that they can do schemes and deals.
It's like Inception, they have Leonardo DiCaprio can't tap into their brains.
And it's just weird that they have just peppered this universe with these godlike characters. Like, why don't they go back to this guy when they have huge problems?
Yeah, they need to track like all these gods in a catalog and maybe power scale them.
Because he was a creator,
this is
right?
a level B god, controls a group of people. And now he's a level C. He only controls up to 1 to 3 million people per verbatim.
Right? Yes, just like the Ring Around the Rosie guy.
So weird. But that's what I was saying though. It's reminiscent of me to Star Wars and the first episode where Qui-Gon Jinn tries to trick Watu, and he's like, "No, you will give this to me for 500 credits," and he's like, "No, 1,000 credits."
Yeah, like, it doesn't work on him.
Give it to me for this, and he's like, "No credits."
Yeah, see, because he's evolved.
He's
got the Ferengi brain.
That Jedi mind trick is some bullshit. Doesn't work with me.
He's got the Ferengi brain.
Yeah,
so,
that's really interesting. That's a good point.
So, how many gold communicators do you give this on a scale of 1 to 5?
This is a solid 3.5, 4. 3.5. I'm 3.5.
I'm gonna say 4. I really liked it. I love those fucking Ferengi. The fact that it's Armin Shimmerman. The fact that Data has a lot of good mugging that he does. When he's holding that Ferengi over his head and he says, "Watch out, they're stronger than they look." And then Worf gets fucking clocked. Data goes, "Ooh." He makes like the funniest mugging, dude. Brent Spiner. Worf I thought was the one that got hit, but was Riker
gets clocked. Yeah.
Riker gets clocked, and then Data goes, "Ooh." Fucking love it.
Yeah.
Four communicators from me, and that officially clanging the gavel is our discussion of the Last Outpost, which means we've got time for one last segment.
Captain, Adam and Al are recommending things. I repeat, Adam
Adam and Al are recommending things. I am so much more prepared this season. I have a new way of doing my notes, and I like have my recommendations listed so I can just go back to them. So what are you recommending?
Been cranking it, been watching a lot of stuff, but I was introduced to this movie by my girlfriend. It was called The Half of It. It's written and directed by Alice Wu, and it starts Leah Lewis, Daniel Diemer, and Alexis Lamar. And it is on Netflix, coming of age kind of thing, high school thing. But it's like this funny rom-com where this guy's really shy and he wants to ask out the hottest girl in school, like on a date. But the hottest girl in school is like with the jock, and this jock's like a total asshole.
Of course.
And so then he gets help from this social outcast, but it's like this Asian girl who's like taking care of her father and is like working shifts in the morning, doing all this stuff, right? And is writing essays on top of that for her classmates to get Venmo'd on the side, like to the point where she makes like hundreds of dollars on the side, you know? Yeah, and the teacher's like, damn, you know, 6 different takes on Seder, like that's amazing, you know? And she's like, why aren't you ratting me out? And the teacher's like, well, it's because, you know, I don't want to read what the fucking students actually have to say. And so then anyways, she's a genius, right? And so then one of the kids comes up to her, this super shy guy, and he's like, hey, I need your help. I really have a crush on this girl, and I think I love her, but I don't know how to express it. Can you just like proofread my letter? And she reads it, and it's like garbage. You know, it's like some senior high school idiot. And she goes, all right, let me fix it. And I'll fix it for like $100 or something like that, or $50.
And then do they fall in love?
Yeah, and so then she ends up writing more and more letters.
It's like Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yeah, sort of like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a modern Cyrano.
It's pretty much, yeah. It's hilarious.
What's it called?
Though the Half of It.
Is it a comedy?
That's pretty
awesome.
good. Yeah, it's very heartfelt. It's PG-13, hour 40 minutes. Very, very good in and out kind of movie.
Cool.
We're watching it because of like, you know, pride and that like there is some, you know, semblance of a possible gay relationship, but then it's like a will they, won't they kind of deal. It's really funny.
Cool.
And then it's relevant too, I guess, to like, modern kids nowadays.
I would imagine.
It's funny though, because we were just talking about how it's like kids aren't really literate anymore.
Well, no, it's just that they're everybody's
like,
using ChatGPT for their fucking papers and shit.
And just not even that. It's like everything's on a screen now and everything's really quick. You know, there's not. I guess I heard there was issues with people having phonetic issues and stuff like that. But anyways, besides
Which
the point.
could also be COVID. Well, everybody got fucking long COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
So what was the movie called?
The Half of It.
The Half of It.
Rom-com.
Alice Wu.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's on Netflix.
I am gonna recommend fuck Netflix, but yes, if you gotta watch something, if you got it, watch that, or or pirate it like Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy from the One Piece. Now, I am going to, since you recommended a comedy, I am also going to recommend a comedy. I saw Friendship, the Tim Robinson, Paul Rudd movie.
Oh, yeah.
With Rooney Mara's in it and a bunch of other cool people. But it was directed by this guy, Andrew DeYoung, and he didn't work on Tim Robinson's show, I Think You Should Leave, at all. But the movie is very much like, it feels like an I Think You Should Leave movie. Like all the scenes, they have that weird fucking weird pacing, weird comedy aesthetic. Just Tim Robinson is a fucking genius, dude. I'm not going to spoil anything. My wife thought it was going to be a horror movie, and it is kind of a horror movie, but there's not really a lot of gore. Okay. It's more like it's got the beats of a horror movie, but instead of big horror stuff, like super cringe things happen. So it's like they replaced what would normally be like a serial killer killing somebody with like a horribly cringe thing that just makes you feel like, Oh, dude, I'm just remembering the
like
stuff that he
Smile.
does. Yeah, he goes off the deep end basically, and it's bad.
Okay.
But it's very, very, very funny. And if you love I Think You Should Leave, like I do, you'll definitely think it's an A or an A plus.
Where is this on? What is this on?
Well, it's on demand now. It just came out of theaters. I'm sure I watched it on my buddy's Plex or something. But you can get it on demand, or it'll be streaming soon on Showtime or HBO Max or something.
Okay.
But yeah,
Cool,
great,
cool.
great movie. And so thanks for hanging out with us for episode
Yes.
124, where we discussed The Last Outpost. Next week...
Oh, yeah. What's next?
Next week, we will be discussing episode 6 of Star Trek The Next Generation, Where No One Has Gone Before. Ooh, call back to the previous episode, to the pilot.
Yes.
The rejiggered pilot. Yeah, which was actually just the third episode. All right, well, thanks for coming out. Do everything in the bumper, and you'll hear us next week.
Thank you. Peace.
124. Trek in the Valley is brought to you by Adam Ordal Quinnell and Al Hirt. The theme was produced by Al. The episodes are engineered by Adam. You can email the podcast at trekinthevalley@gmail.com, or you can search for us on Bluesky and Facebook as Trek in the Valley and follow us over there. Please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, whatever you do on your podcast apps. It really helps us out. And never forget, always explore strange new fucking worlds.